There was a time, not too long ago, when going viral on the internet felt like striking digital gold. A bizarre combination of timing, novelty, and audience engagement could catapult a simple video into the stratosphere of internet culture. And in 2012, one man in sunglasses galloped into global consciousness and changed the way we understood the word viral forever. That man was PSY, and the song was Gangnam Style. More than just a catchy tune with absurdly fun choreography, Gangnam Style became the first video in history to hit 1 billion views on YouTube. It wasn't just a cultural moment, it was a shift in the digital landscape. It was proof that a non-English niche parody could not only travel globally, but completely take over. But what made Gangnam Style explode the way it did? It wasn't just the song or the dance. It was timing. In 2012, YouTube had matured just enough to be accessible globally, but still novel enough that people were hungry for content to share. Social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter were already influencing daily communication. Reddit was rising as a taste-making machine, and smartphones were putting all of this into people's hands. PSY's video was weird, catchy, and shareable 3 elements that laid the blueprint for virality for years to come. From there, the internet entered what some might call the golden age of viral content. Every few weeks, there was a new meme, a new song, a new face of the internet. We saw Harlem Shake videos take over office spaces and classrooms. What does the fox say? Confused and entertained millions. Rebecca Black's Friday became iconic for being just a little too earnest and just a little too off-key. These weren't polished productions. They were raw, often bizarre, and usually the result of happy accidents. And yet, they worked because virality, at its core, thrives on unpredictability. But the internet was changing. As platforms evolved, so did the nature of virality. In the next section, we'll explore how algorithms began to shape what we saw, why content got shorter, and how a little animated shark would quietly swim into the spotlight and become one of the most viewed videos in human history. By the mid-2010s, the randomness of early viral content began to feel more like a science experiment than a happy accident. The platforms that once simply hosted content were now actively curating it. YouTube, in particular, had started leaning hard into its recommendation algorithm. Suddenly, what got recommended and thus what went viral wasn't just about what people liked, but what the algorithm predicted people might like. Content creators began adapting. Videos became optimized not only for human attention, but also for algorithmic favor. Keywords, thumbnails, watch time all became crucial to gaining traction. And slowly, virality began to shift away from the Wild West of meme culture and toward a more calculated form of mass engagement. This new phase of virality favored repetition, simplicity, and wide accessibility. That's when Baby Shark entered the scene. Originally a campfire song turned preschool bop, it found new life in a Korean educational company called Pinkfong. In 2016, the Baby Shark dance video was uploaded to YouTube and began its quiet crawl through the algorithm. It wasn't loud or flashy. It didn't feature a famous artist or a provocative hook. But what it did have was exactly what the new viral formula required: simplicity, repetition, and massive rewatchability, especially among toddlers. Baby Shark didn't explode overnight like Gangnam Style. Instead, it simmered. Parents played it to entertain their kids. Kids played it again and again, and again. The algorithm noticed. And in 2020, it officially became the most viewed video in YouTube history, surpassing even PSY. It was a new era. No longer did virality require mass, cross-generational appeal. You could now go viral by cornering a specific demographic and exploiting viewing behavior like the infinite loop of children replaying the same catchy song. This evolution reveals something deeper about our relationship with online content. In the early days, virality felt communal. We all experienced Gangnam Style together. But now, it feels fragmented, tailored to our feeds, our kids, our scrolling habits. In the next section, we'll explore how platforms like TikTok further exploded this fragmentation, and how the idea of virality has been completely redefined in the age of short-form, hyper-personalized content. As we moved into the TikTok era, the very anatomy of a viral hit transformed once again. Whereas Gangnam Style and Baby Shark represented single, standalone content experiences, TikTok turned virality into something participatory. The viewer wasn't just watching anymore, they were joining in. A song clip didn't go viral because of its artist or production quality. It went viral because of how many people could lip sync to it, dance to it, remix it, or meme it into absurdity. The content became modular pieces of a larger trend that millions could contribute to, each from their own corner of the internet. TikTok's design is built for this kind of iterative virality. With its endless scroll and smart recommendation system, the platform excels at taking a small spark and fanning it into a wildfire. A simple audio clip or dance challenge can evolve into a global sensation within days. Think of tracks like Savage Love, or Say So, or dances like The Renegade. These weren't just songs anymore. They were frameworks for thousands, sometimes millions of users to express themselves in sync with the moment. What makes TikTok era virality particularly fascinating is how ephemeral and niche it can be. A sound might dominate the platform for a week, then vanish without a trace. Memes morph in real time, and trends branch off into microcultures. One clip might be repurposed for humor in one niche, nostalgia in another, and social commentary in yet another. Unlike the global domination of a single video like Gangnam Style, TikTok's viral content exists in layers, personalized, contextual, and constantly in motion. This means that virality is no longer about hitting a mass audience in the traditional sense. It's about triggering engagement within pockets of the internet that self-amplify through loops of content creation and remixing. In the next section, we'll dig into how meme culture and internet communities helped shape this transition, and how the line between creator and audience has continued to blur in ways that redefine what it means to go viral. The rise of meme culture was both a symptom and a catalyst of this shift. Before TikTok, memes were already reshaping how content circulated online, especially on platforms like Reddit, Twitter, and Tumblr. But TikTok brought a new energy one that allowed memes to live not just as static images or clever phrases, but as dynamic audio-visual performances. Memes became something you could act out, dance along with, or reinterpret in your own unique way. The idea of a viral moment no longer depended solely on the originality of one creator, but thrived on the collective reinterpretation of thousands. This participatory model democratized virality even further. You didn't need a massive production team or label backing. You just needed a phone, an idea, and maybe the right sound at the right time. And the reward wasn't always fame in the traditional sense. It could be clout within a niche community, a sudden spike in followers, or even just a few hours of algorithm-fueled attention. The internet had created an ecosystem where the next viral phenomenon could come from anywhere, at any moment. Interestingly, this also changed how platforms and creators approached content itself. Instead of aiming for a polished, finished product, many creators now strive to create content that is deliberately open-ended, meant to be remixed, copied, or spun off. This is the logic behind trends like duets or stitch formats on TikTok. The original clip isn't the end goal, it's the seed. The goal is to inspire replication, variation, even parody. And in this looping dance of content creation, the line between the meme and the moment becomes increasingly blurred. What this has led to is the birth of micro-virality fleeting cultural moments that dominate timelines for a few days, maybe a week, before fading into the digital ether. But each of these moments leaves an imprint, a subtle reshaping of internet language, aesthetics, or humor. And all of it builds upon the viral DNA laid down by earlier sensations like Gangnam Style and Baby Shark, even if the format has become far more decentralized, chaotic, and fast-moving. As viral content evolved from grassroots spontaneity to algorithm-driven microtrends, it didn't take long for brands and institutions to take notice. What began as a chaotic and seemingly unpredictable phenomenon slowly revealed patterns that could be studied, mimicked, and ultimately monetized. Marketers realized that virality could be reverse engineered, or at least nudged in the right direction. Instead of waiting for organic moments to arise, corporations began manufacturing them carefully, constructing campaigns that mimicked the aesthetic of genuine internet culture, hoping to blur the line between authenticity and advertising just enough to catch fire. Take Wendy's, for example, whose Twitter presence shifted from formal brand speak to edgy, meme-savvy roasts. Or Duolingo's TikTok account, where the green owl mascot was reimagined as a chaotic, unhinged character flirting with users and dancing to trending sounds. These were brands speaking the language of the internet, sometimes awkwardly, sometimes brilliantly, but always trying to ride the wave of cultural relevance. In some cases, the attempts worked, becoming mini viral moments in themselves. In others, they flopped, with audiences quick to sniff out inauthenticity and respond with ridicule. Political movements have done something similar. In the digital age, a viral tweet or video can shift public opinion faster than a televised debate. Memes have become political tools, rallying cries, or even misinformation vectors. Campaign teams now employ meme strategists and digital culture analysts to ensure their messaging isn't just visible, but viral. While this opens up new possibilities for awareness and engagement, it also introduces ethical dilemmas. When virality becomes the goal, nuance can get lost, and emotional impact often wins out over accuracy or depth. All of this speaks to a broader truth. Virality is no longer accidental. It's a currency, a tool, and in some cases, a weapon. And while it might seem like a democratizing force, anyone can go viral, after all, it also reflects and reinforces the underlying structures of the platforms we use. The algorithm still decides who gets seen, who gets amplified, and who gets left behind. And as we'll explore next, the psychology of virality, the way it taps into our attention, our identity, and our need to belong, is what gives it such undeniable power. The psychology behind viral content isn't just fascinating. It's essential to understanding why some things catch fire while others fizzle into obscurity. At the heart of it is a blend of cognitive triggers and emotional hooks, often engineered consciously or not to bypass our critical thinking and hit us right in the amygdala. We are, by design, emotional creatures. Content that surprises us, makes us laugh, shocks us, or even enrages us is far more likely to be shared. It's not just about what we enjoy, it's about what makes us feel something, quickly and intensely. That's why a short video of a child dancing offbeat at a wedding can compete with global news stories for our attention. One is serious, the other is serotonin. But it's not just emotion at play, it's identity. Sharing content online is a form of self-expression. When you retweet a meme or share a trending TikTok, you're not just broadcasting something funny or weird, you're saying, "This is who I am. This is what I find interesting. This is how I want to be perceived." Virality, then, is tied deeply to tribalism. We share within our communities, our bubbles, our niches, reinforcing our digital identities one click at a time. And the platforms know this. Algorithms prioritize engagement, and engagement feeds off identity off of relatability, outrage, humor, or a sense of belonging. Every share, like, and comment is both a signal and a currency. This feedback loop becomes even more potent when we add scarcity into the mix. The idea that we might miss out on the next big thing drives us to constantly refresh, to scroll, to chase the high of discovery. That's why memes mutate so fast. That's why new trends can burn through the collective consciousness in days. And that's why some creators strike gold seemingly overnight. They don't just create content. They tap into the exact mix of timing, relatability, and emotional resonance that the moment demands. It's part science, part chaos, and 100% human. And nowhere is this clearer than in the TikTok era, where virality has become less about a single video and more about a replicable format. This brings us to the next chapter in our timeline, the age of the soundbite, the dance challenge, and the 15-second phenomenon. With TikTok, the rules of the viral game didn't just change, they were rewritten entirely. Unlike YouTube or even Vine before it, TikTok's magic isn't in a single viral video, but in the way content morphs, mutates, and spreads through trends, remixes, and collaborative participation. The For You page is an infinite scroll of potential fame, a digital slot machine that rewards creators often unexpectedly with millions of views. But it's not just about who made the original video. It's about how many people can repeat it, duet with it, react to it, remix it. In other words, TikTok transformed virality into something collective. It's not just one creator going viral anymore. It's a trend itself being amplified by thousands. And nowhere is this more obvious than in the rise of viral sounds. Audio clips have become as important as visuals. A line from a movie, a snippet of a song, even a random outburst from a live stream can become the backbone of hundreds of thousands of TikToks. Think of Oh No, cascading over fail videos, or Megan Thee Stallion's Savage, soundtracking a global dance craze. These aren't just trends. They're cultural waves, rolling across borders, languages, and generations. And they're fast. In the time it took Gangnam Style to reach 1 billion views, TikTok birthed and buried dozens of viral moments. But speed comes with a price. In the TikTok era, virality is fleeting. What's everywhere today can vanish tomorrow. Unlike Baby Shark, which lodged itself into our collective brains with ruthless efficiency, many TikTok trends feel like flash paper burning, bright, hot, and gone. That impermanence has changed how we relate to viral content. We don't necessarily remember who started a trend. We remember the sound, the aesthetic, the feeling. This shift has decentralized fame in a way that's both freeing and frustrating. It's easier than ever to go viral. It's also harder than ever to stay relevant. And yet, for every passing trend, there are still those rare viral moments that transcend the churn. Videos or formats so emotionally charged, so cleverly designed, or just so bizarre that they rise above the algorithmic noise and etch themselves into digital history. And that's where we arrive at the curious tension of modern virality between mass replication and standout uniqueness, between algorithms and accidents, between internet fame and actual impact. And so, after traveling from invisible dance floors in Seoul to children's birthday parties to the endless scroll of TikTok, we arrive at a bigger question. What do these viral phenomena really say about us? At first glance, it's tempting to brush off virality as something shallow or silly, just weird internet flukes. But viral content, at its core, is a mirror. It reflects our culture, our attention spans, our desires, and our sense of humor. It shows us what resonates, what unites us, and sometimes what horrifies us. 1 billion people didn't watch Gangnam Style just because it was catchy. They watched it because it felt new, wild, and oddly universal. The same goes for Baby Shark. It wasn't just a children's song. It was a masterclass in repetition, simplicity, and timing. The evolution of viral content isn't just a history of popular videos, it's a blueprint of how we communicate now. Whether it's a dance, a joke, a 15-second soundbite, or a surreal meme, these trends are the shorthand of the digital age. They give us common language across continents, a shared pop culture in real time. And they're constantly evolving, adapting to platforms, algorithms, and the weird little corners of the internet where creativity brews fastest. In the end, virality isn't about formulas. It's about emotion, timing, and just the right amount of chaos. Maybe the biggest takeaway is this. Behind every viral hit, no matter how polished or ridiculous, is a spark, something that taps into our curiosity, our need to connect, or our desire to laugh. Sometimes it's deliberate, sometimes it's random, but always, it spreads because we make it spread. And that means the future of viral content isn't just about platforms or trends. It's about people, about us. And whether the next viral wave comes from a forgotten jingle, a dancing grandma, or an AI-generated fever dream, one thing is certain. We'll be watching, liking, sharing, and maybe even dancing along. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Because in the ever-scrolling world of digital culture, there's always another weird, wonderful story just waiting to go viral.